These latest headlines from ABC15 are sponsored by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorneys. One call, that's all.
I'm Javier Soto with your top stories from ABC15 Arizona. New at the state capitol today, Governor Katie Hobbs signed a funding bill fixing a big budget hole in the state's disability services. We've been following this for weeks now. Without this bill signed, that program would have run out of money next week. Arizonans with disability and their families spent months pushing lawmakers to pass a fix.
And so I think this just shows our power. You know, disabled individuals and their families, we have to fight a lot. So fighting isn't new to us.
Nearly 60,000 Arizonans rely on those funds. Republicans and Democrats in the House negotiated the measure yesterday. In addition to funding, the measure includes some reforms, including an audit of a parent caregiver program. New tonight, ABC 15 is learning a man has been arrested following a cockfighting investigation. According to officials, more than 70 roosters were located at a home owned by Victor Espinoza near Buckeye and Central in Phoenix. During that investigation, police found numerous items connected to cockfighting, including a fighting ring.
And the only reason that happens is because there is no positive outcome for a fighting bird. They are pumped so full of steroids, medicine, painkillers, and they are trained to fight literally anything, that even if we were to take them in on a 10-day seizure, we couldn't send them to a rescue.
The Arizona Humane Society helped remove those birds. All of those birds on property had to be euthanized. The state Senate continues to vet the agency directors nominated by Governor Katie Hobbs. The Arizona Department of Child Safety Director cleared an initial vote this morning in her Senate confirmation process. DCS Director Catherine Patak's nomination is now moving ahead to the full Senate for approval. Less than 2 weeks remain before real ID enforcement begins at airport security. Now that makes for full parking lots and longer lines at MVDs all across Arizona. ABC 15's Jordan Bonke joins us listening to people showing up to make that switch.
Between finding a parking spot, having the right paperwork, and practicing patience once in line, a lot has been done to get that tiny star on your ID. After multiple extensions, the real ID deadline is May 7th, with no signs of being delayed. Enforcement will start in less than 2 weeks. If you don't have a real ID, you can still fly with a passport. If you don't have either, TSA screeners will be asking a series of questions to validate your identity, and there's no guarantee you'll be able to fly.
I get off work, I take off time so that I can get my real ID.
Gladys is a healthcare worker originally from Sierra Leone, more than 6,000 miles away.
I believe it's important because I have to travel internationally, because I have to go on vacation to see my families.
Good thing she took the day off, because in moments she was back out in the parking lot.
My birth certificates or passports.
Same goes for Jason, who's now searching for his birth certificate.
It's stored away in a storage locker in one of many boxes that I have, so I got to start digging through.
Now, to get a real ID, ADOT requires 1 document for proof of birth, 2 documents for proof of address, and a social security number. That was a process for Jonathan, who's been experiencing homelessness without an ID for the past 3 months.
It's going to give me a lot of confidence instantly.
While appointments aren't required to get a real ID, Jamar made one about a month ago. You could show up to an MVD location or authorized third-party provider.
Well, I made the appointment almost a month ago, but then they told me that my appointment wasn't in the system. So they ended up just processing me as a walk-in, and I was in there probably 20 minutes in line.
Other states have asked to extend the deadline once again. I asked ADOT if they have, and they told me no. For now, Real ID is prepared for takeoff. Jordan Bonke, ABC 15, Arizona.
Tracking your forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Amber Sellens. We have another day in store in the 90s tomorrow, but the big difference will be in the winds. We're going to pick up breezes throughout much of the afternoon and early evening hours. Winds will be coming in at 10 to 15 miles per hour here in the valley. We start the day in the 60s, end up in the 90s, still several degrees above normal, but these winds are going to continue to blow over the next couple of days, and that's going to usher in some slightly cooler air as we head into Saturday, even more so on Sunday. Take a look at this forecast tomorrow afternoon. afternoon, we've got some windy conditions along the I-40 corridor. Gusts could hit 40 miles per hour out near Bullhead City and Kingman as sustained winds reach 25 miles per hour tomorrow afternoon. Again, all of this wind coming as a storm system approaches that'll drop our temperatures too. It does, though, look like we're going to stay dry here in the valley. Breezes through the weekend at a high of 81 degrees on Sunday. Then we're back in the 90s toward the middle of next week.